Yeah, welcome in. Welcome back to another episode of the Format Podcast live Sunday night NFL wrap-up edition. What's going on, team? What's going on? Good to see those of you who are in here already, and hopefully we'll get some more as the show goes on. But let's go ahead and I guess we can get right to it, man. So you know what we're here for. We're here to wrap up the Week 7 in the NFL, and I see we got a cheesehead in the house. What's up, my man, Transformer?
What's going on? Go back, go. Let's go. All right, we here.
All right, man. So you know what we're here to do, guys. We're here to run down this week's action in the NFL. Obviously, we still have 2 games left because of the Monday night schedule. But we'll deal with that. I guess we'll run through that on Wednesday when we get back with y'all. But for now, we're through Thursday and it started. You know what time it is. If you're here on YouTube and you haven't already, please make sure you go ahead, click that like, that subscribe, that notification bell. Make sure you're kept up to date whenever we drop new content on the channel. If you want the audio only version of the podcast, open up your audio podcast platform, hit the search bar, type in The Format Podcast, and we should come right up. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you give us that like, that 5-star review, and drop a comment. All that stuff helps us rise in the algorithm, helps us find more sports fans, helps more sports fans find us. And finally, make sure you write it down, put it in your phone, set an alarm, do whatever you got to do to remember. Saturday nights at 7 p.m. we are live here on the Format Podcast, and we'll give you the opportunity to call in, talk to us, get at me. I love it. I can't. All right. So looks like we got a late arrival. What's up, G? Look like you was asleep over there, man.
Yeah, that Steelers Jets game kind of put me to sleep. But,
you know, it's real funny, man. For you being a Ravens fan, you seem to dislike games with a lot of defense. I noticed that. That's really weird.
No, I thought the man, wait a minute. Is Steve in there? Steve in the chat?
Yeah, Steve in the chat.
Yeah. So I told y'all Russell Wilson was gonna come in on fire, and that's what he's doing. He played really well.
I wouldn't say he came in on fire, but he picked it up though.
But we'll get to that. You jumped the shark right now. You jumped the shark.
Y'all dodged the bullet today.
You jumping the shark, man. We'll get there. We'll get there.
That was a dub.
You mic at, man.
You started it.
You echoing, man. Where's your mic at? Good.
Like right here, bro. What you talking
about?
Yeah,
get that a little closer to you, man.
Man got the mic on the other side of the house.
Right?
Here y'all go, man. Here y'all go, yo.
Yeah, man. Get that a little closer to you, bro. All right.
Get a little bit closer.
Whoa. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and start it off. Transformer, you gonna run this, man?
Yes, sir, man. You know, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this game up tonight. Steelers and the Jets. Steelers win. I didn't even notice that they scored again, but score of 37-15. Steelers beat the Jets. Russell Wilson's first game as a Steeler came in and had a very, very productive game. I'm pulling up the stats here, so bear with me, guys. I got 264, 16 for 29. Had a very, very slow start to come out of the football game, but then he finally started picking it up around that second, the end of second, and then again in that third quarter where a lot of his touch throws are definitely hitting home. Two touchdowns, no interception, and got a touchdown with his leg. So they got it done, man. New York Jets, I think it's about time for them to look themselves in the mirror and call it what it is. You guys are bad. It's just bad. It's just all around bad. But I'm going to let Bruce, you go ahead. I'll take that back. Gino, since you were the one that actually, picked Russell Wilson, making his resurgence in this team, I'll let you go ahead and kick off with that one, brother. What you think about it?
So as a Ravens fan, I thought it was pretty tough to watch. I saw some things with we're talking about Steelers, Jets. I saw some things that I really didn't like, man. Like Russell Wilson definitely commanded offense a little different than Justin Fields. One of the things I did see that I liked, and and everybody was talking about, like early on, of course, the ring rust was there, but after he was able to get that ring rust off, he was commanding the offense. He made a lot of plays with his hand, with his arm, and not his legs. And I think going forward, as we hit into the second half of the season, it calls for a more seasoned quarterback. Especially you start talking about the gauntlet that they have to go in the next 4 games. So good game all around. I think Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Rodgers and Dante Adams. I think I called it, bro. Like you can't lose your coach, right? You can't lose your coach, and then most of your secondary was missing in this game, so it was pretty much a layup for them. Pretty much a layup for them. It's scary if you're a Ravens fan, only because you don't want to see that type of connection with George Pickens and Russell Wilson. A little scary, but yeah, good game.
My bad. I was distracted looking in the camera. Bruce, man, what you got, brother?
So, watching this game, Pittsburgh, as usual, you can count on them playing good defense. But realistically, I think what I saw was this, and this is what I've kind of been saying throughout the year. Aaron Rodgers simply isn't that guy anymore. I mean, we got to call a spade, and that's why I was so upset when Robert Saleh got fired, because that wasn't the state of the team wasn't his fault. Now I know you're the head coach, and when things aren't going well, you're the one that's going to get the blame. But Aaron Rodgers has a lot of pull in that organization, and he hasn't been holding up his end of it. The offensive weight hasn't been there. Okay. And so you're looking at him, he's missing a lot of throws. He's dinking and dunking. He's not nearly the same Aaron Rodgers that he was, but he won't allow for certain changes to take place within the offense to allow him to have more success, even if he can't still be the same guy physically. But watching Justin Fields, watching Russell Wilson, he played well tonight. But this is something I noticed, and I thought this was strange. I don't know if there was some slightly different play calling going on because it was because it was Russ Wilson and not Justin Fields. But I've been watching these Pittsburgh, for whatever reason, Pittsburgh's been getting a lot of TV time this year, and I've been watching them a fair amount, right? And I don't think I was seeing receivers running free like this all season long up until tonight. Like there was a number of throws. I was like, wait a minute, where were those throws? Where was the ability? The availability of those throws when Justin Fields was in here as a starting quarterback? And so, don't get me wrong, there were a couple of throws that Russell Wilson made, like that back corner of the end zone throw that Pickens caught. That was very impressive. Had a lot of really good touch on it over the top. That's not a throw that Fields probably could have made. But you also have some throws where Russ got lucky, right? Where Pickens juggled it, caught it. The defender kind of almost took it away, juggled it, and Pickens caught it out of the air again. Like there's some luck there. And I'm not mad at that, right? Because everybody can benefit from luck. But those are the type of things you don't normally see with Fields. And the other thing I'm looking at with Pittsburgh, they need to do everything they possibly can to get another, like a quality number 2 wide receiver on the other side of Pickens, because a good team is going to roll coverage and take Pickens away because he seems to be the only real weapon in the passing game. I don't know if that's play design or what. Arthur Smith has to do a better job than that. But Steelers played well tonight, and I think this is probably the first time all season I saw Mike Tomlin smile. So, as G said, that's kind of scary. And clearly there's going to be improvement to do. Tomlin, I would love to hear his post-game presser tonight. I would love to hear that. I've only been lucky enough to be in a post-game presser with him once, and listening to that dude speak is really something. And he keeps it short. He keeps it to the point. He doesn't mince words. He says it how it is, and I got a lot of respect for that. But the Steelers look good, man, and to see them put up 37 tonight against a quality defense, now a defense that had some injuries, but still a quality defense in the NFL, that's like, I don't know, man. And there were numerous shots of Justin Fields on the sideline, and he almost had to look like, damn, I may not get this thing back. So,
he's not. It's over.
We'll see what happens. But a really good performance overall by Pittsburgh tonight. They ran it 36 times. They passed it 29 times. Transformer, we talk about it all the time. That's that balance, that offensive balance. And I love it because being the old school kind of football guy that I am, we're seeing this so much more across the league when, the league would rather have it 70-30 throwing it, right? But we're seeing so many more coaches get back to running balanced offense. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And tonight you saw Pittsburgh really, I'm not going to say firing on all cylinders, which is scary because if they were, man, they might could have got 50 out here, right? But very good game. Jets are disappointing. Aaron Rodgers is not what he thinks he is, not what a lot of people think he is. And they need to figure out something. They need to make adjustments. They need to take away some of the power this guy has in the building. They need to use pre-snap motion, movement, that kind of thing to do a better job of exposing defenses. They just need to do more. They need to be more creative offensively. They're not doing it, and this is why they're 2-5. I could talk about this all night, but go ahead, Transformer.
Oh man, I mean, I got nothing much more to add to what you guys said.
Okay.
This is one of those games where, G was right. I mean, you come in off the bench, right? You had the season, beginning of the season with an injury. You had your strained calf, and Russell Wilson that I'm talking about, by the way.
Yeah.
You come in and you seize a game, right? And you take command of a game, and you put up 37 points in your first first day of action. That's what the Steelers been looking for all season, right? Defense, they do. They're making the stops that they need to make. They shut out the Jets in the second half. Jets didn't put up no points. They blocked the field goal. They had 2 turnovers on 4th down, had an interception. So the Steelers defense is going to be the Steelers defense. They're very legit. They're top 5, top 3, arguably number 1 in the league. But you were looking for that offensive firepower to keep you guys going. And once Russell Wilson started getting that touch, that throw-in touch going, it was just soft throws. He was just floating them over the top, and he was finally hitting on the money. And once he started seeing 1, he started seeing 2, then 3, and before you knew it, those numbers started to add up very, very quickly. Najee Harris was able to really, take advantage of the run game since, safety's got to fall back and stop Russell Wilson from throwing the football. But, this is a game where Russell Wilson definitely – took the mantle away. Probably, he just pretty much slammed the door in Justin Fields' face saying, hey, bro, I'm here. I'm here. This is the reason why I'm here. I'm here to, push the ball downfield, put the points up on the board, especially if, there may be nights where our defense falls asleep a little bit and we give up 20-21. I need to be able to score 24, and that's what I'm here for. But no, you guys put it on the money, man. You guys put it on the money.
I thought it was – yeah, last thing I got was I thought it was a real good game for Russell to start with all the injuries to the Jet secondary. I mean, I think that's why we saw a lot of players running wild. Could have been coaching as well, but I think they lost like 5 starters from their secondary, so it was pretty much a piecemeal out there.
No, they were dropping like flies. That's for sure. They were dropping like flies, man. Aaron Rodgers, another game, 2 interceptions, more interceptions than touchdowns. He not the same Aaron Rodgers that played for this team right here. So, it is what it is. All right, moving on. We're going to roll back, fast forward, rewind rewind into the Broncos game Thursday night. The beatdown of Bo Nix putting up 33 points against the New Orleans Saints. I would say the game was 33-3, but thanks to a last-second touchdown by the New Orleans Saints, it actually looked a little bit closer, a little bit less pathetic than what it was. 33-10. I started off with G last time. Bruce, we got anything about this player?
Did y'all know that was Drew Brees' night in New Orleans?
Was that Drew Brees' night?
That was Drew Brees' night. Yep. And the crazy part, I think they had like a luncheon or whatever to celebrate. And to celebrate Drew Brees or whatever. And I don't know if he went up into the Ring of Honor or whatever, but it was Drew Brees' night and they had a luncheon. And apparently Sean Payton showed up to the luncheon wearing a Broncos shirt or a Broncos jersey or something. Yeah. I'm like, man, this guy's a real dick. But anyway, they did what we thought they were going to do. Bo Nix was pretty efficient, 16 and 26 for $164. Not huge numbers, but efficient. And they just, hey, man, They smoked them. They ran for 225. So to me, like that's even worse, right? You run for 225, like you're saying we're going to physically dominate you and beat you, and that's tough. What can you say? I picked Denver. I don't know if you guys did. I picked Denver in this one. I had a feeling they would win.
Picked Denver as well.
This is a solid football team. And it's relatively the same team as last year. So it's going to be interesting to see how they finish. And I want to know, is this going to be an indictment on Russell Wilson? Because he was there last year,
Oh, gotcha.
it's never the exact same team from year to year, but it's relatively the same team. And you know, what did he have? 26 touchdowns and 8 picks last year, but that was empty calories. I think they only won 4 or 5 games, something like that. So it looks like they're easily going to surpass last year's win total with a rookie quarterback. So I don't know. This is just kind of interesting to see, but they are doing what they're doing. This is a much improved football team, a very good defensive football team, and the Saints are just sad right now. They're beset by injuries as well. They got the rookie quarterback going, and he didn't have a terrible game, but he got sacked 6 times. That doesn't help anything, right?
Running for your life don't help.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's what we got. Fumbled twice, lost twice. So I guess 2 of those were strip sacks, and just a bad night out overall. So that's what we got.
All right, G, you had New Orleans, man. What happened, brother?
Oh man, I didn't look at the injury. I didn't look at the injury report. That's what happened, man. Sheesh. It'd be like that sometimes, right? I think I took a few of those this week.
Oh man, we gonna look down the ladder and see what you got, man. But you had New Orleans. But no, man. You're right, Bruce. It was just a flat out beatdown. Like I think the Saints took those first 2 games. Now you go back.
Hey, I had Denver. I thought I had Denver, bro. I thought we all went Denver. I had the Saints.
Yeah, you had the Saints. Yes, sir. I mean, you go back and you look at them first 2 games. Then you now question, the validity of the first 2 games that New Orleans spanked. I think it was the Cowboys and Carolina. I mean, of course, we knew Carolina wasn't going to be anything at all. They're going to be, bottom feeders of the NFL. And then now you look at Dallas. Dallas just got 47 hung up on them at home. So you look at those first 2 games and was like, oh man, or the Saints are, for real this year. And just to go 5 straight losses, back to back, and the 3 of those losses, you had your starter in Derek Carr. So I mean, there's the excuse of the injuries, not really a strong one. When you fell to 2 and 3 when he was there, then he got hurt, and then you lose 2 more back to back games, and now going 2 and 5. Man, I think they're in serious trouble. I definitely see them on the trade block to try to get rid of some of their older defensive players, and just try to get back to the drawing board with this one, man. But Bo Nix, man, shout out to the guy that's better than who? Brock Purdy.
Whoa.
Brock Purdy. Shout out to Bo Nix. Better than Brock Purdy.
I was about to say today's not really the day I can do a lot of taping up.
Not a day.
You're only as good as your last game.
I'll remember that.
Right. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna move on over back to Sunday. We're gonna go into the 1 o'clock. The first early thing in the morning, we had 9:30 in London, and the Jacksonville Jaguars beat the New England Patriots 32-16. Finally got a dub. G, what you got, brother?
Man, I wasn't up early enough to watch.
That's the second one. Is the second one?
Yeah. Bottom of the barrel for me. So yeah, I didn't get a chance to look at that game this week. It was a drill weekend for me. So
yeah, we're in Jacksonville, so it's almost mandatory for us to kind of tune in.
On 3 stations down there.
I saw some.
You turn on your TV like, oh man, the Jaguars on, man. You forget, you in Jacksonville, so I'm literally 15 minutes from the stadium. But Bruce, what you got, man?
I mean, there wasn't much here. New England's just a bad football team. They don't have much of anything. They're going to attempt to play defense and hang in there for a little bit, but they just don't have enough, man. And that's all there is to it. Drake May, he put up some decent rookie numbers. Obviously, the game was out of reach for most of it, but the number's solid, man. 26-37, 276, 2 touchdowns. So not terrible numbers. They have to do a better job in free agency. They have to do a better job with trades. They have to do a better job in, I was going to say recruiting, but they have to do a better job in drafting. I mean, they've got this young kid. They've got to get him some weapons, and this team just has to somehow get better in the roster because it's just bad. They just don't have enough. There's no reason that you should get doubled up on by the Jaguars because the Jaguars suck too. That's all there is to it.
No, you're absolutely right, man. Jaguars, they caught a stray on this one. Drake May looks good. I mean, I was looking at most of the game where I was actually applauding for or rooting for Drake May to just let the man throw the football. Right.
Right.
The Jaguar was doing a great job in stopping the run. They only had 15 carries for 38 yards, so 2.5 a carry. That's nothing good at all, especially when your quarterback has 3 carries for 18 yards, and that's literally almost half of the yard that you got as a total. But he looked good throwing the football, man. A lot of pressure on him. With the getting sacked twice by the Jacksonville Jaguars. They did a great job of, trying to keep them at bay. But 109 passer rating in your second start, 26 for 37, 276, that 2 touchdowns. You didn't throw the ball and put it in harm's way. I think that's pretty good. That's something to look forward to if you're the New England Patriots. But you definitely got a lot of things to address. But at least for the next 3 years, you're not paying your quarterback. And Drake may be relatively solid. Granted, it's against the Jaguars, but it is what it is. Trevor Lawrence, 15 for 20, 1 touchdown, 0 picks. A pretty efficient game. I like how they went into the fourth quarter and literally took the ball out of his hands and ran it like 20, I think it was like 20 or 22 straight times, right? Just to close it out. Like, hey, look, we're not even going to make you pass the ball, make you put it in harm's way. We're literally going to run the air out of this football because obviously the Patriots not going to stop us, and we're going to close this thing out. So great closeout for those guys. They finally go to 2-5. New England Patriots are now 1-6. All right. Moving on over to game numero 3. Seattle Seahawks beat the Atlanta Falcons at home, 34-14. A nice little beatdown by Geno Smith and Kenneth Walker. The third, I believe, Bruce, you went first last time?
Yes.
No. Okay. All right, G, you got it, brother.
So that game, Gino, they lost last week, so I thought this was a good way of kind of restarting your offense and getting back to the swing of things. I think I had Atlanta. I'm not sure. I think I had Atlanta.
I think you had Seattle. I think both of you guys picked Seattle. I picked Atlanta. No, you picked Atlanta too. You picked Atlanta.
Okay. Right. Yeah, I thought I had Atlanta. Kirk Cousins, I thought it was a pretty solid game. They just got, it was a gunfight. And DK Metcalf he came to play. Man, he just came to play.
No, very solid performance. Bruce, what you got, brother?
You've been big on Atlanta this whole year, and so far I've been a little bit wrong on that. But I still don't believe in them. There's something about them. I don't know what it is. I don't think they're a good football team. But Seattle came out here and it was interesting. They didn't really get the running game cranked up the way they like to, but clearly they played some good football. Kirk Cousins came back down to earth a little bit. He had the 2 picks, so those were big. He didn't have the lighted up type of game that you normally need for Atlanta to have success, even though Bijan got over 100 yards on the ground. Kenneth Walker, the third, so-so game, right? 14 for 69. He didn't kill anybody, but overall, man, just a good all-around effort from the Seahawks. They were able to get 3 turnovers. You lose that turnover battle. We talk about it all the time. 3 turnovers is going to doom you. And so, ends up 34-14, a 20-point loss. So, yeah, pretty simple.
No, yeah, you're right, man. I mean, Kirk Cousins, you turn the ball over 3 times. That's the result that you're going to get. I think that was pretty much the gist of it. I mean, everything was like, it seemed like it was flowing for Atlanta, but it was it was a key moment. He threw an interception. Like, damn it.
That's right.
All right, we had a good drive. Next drive, fumble. Damn it. We're having a good drive. In Seattle, they definitely were capitalizing on those turnovers. So, that was a huge part of it right there. Kenneth Walker, man, he was quiet tonight from the ground, but 2 touchdowns in total with 2 catches, 14 carries for 69. Right. He definitely did his thing. But finally, we got a Bijan Robinson showing up over 100 yards just to, it being a 20-point blowout. But it was a good game, man. I'm still riding with the Falcons. I think this is just one of those games where it's like, just stop turning over the freaking football, like like one of our teams did today. But we found a way. But anyway, we'll get back to that game later. We're gonna move on over to the next game. The Buffalo Bills destroyed the Tennessee Titans and the Will Levis less Titans. The Will Levis less.
Is he hurt or he's injured?
I believe I think he hurt his elbow last game.
Okay, because I'm like, why is Mason Rudolph playing this whole game? All right, cool.
But yeah, he was announced out before the game. But Josh Allen, 21 for 33. 323 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, Buffalo just did what they should do, beat Mason Rudolph and the Tennessee Titans. I mean, I don't think much more to add to that, but G, I'll go ahead and let you say something about it, brother.
Yeah, I don't have anything to say, man. I thought that was a ball game for me.
Easy day. Bruce, what you got?
I found it interesting that Josh Allen, while playing well and not really turning the football over, up until this point this season has been spreading the ball around a lot, doing a really good job with that, but hasn't had the huge number passing games. And all of a sudden, he gets Amari Cooper, who didn't light it up, 4 for 66 today. Didn't light it up, but he adds Amari Cooper, number 1 receiver, legitimate. By the way, your guy, Keon Coleman, Florida State, 4 for $125. Really good game there. Probably his best game as a pro, even though he didn't score. But the point is, Josh Allen gets Amari Cooper in the fold, and all of a sudden he's over 300 passing yards. Having that number 1 guy really helps, man. And so just, Bills 5-2, just quietly moving right along, and very, very good football team, and played a really good game today against an undermanned opponent. But what kind of impressed me, the Titans are one of the better they're one of the top defensive teams in the league, and especially against the pass as well, I believe. So for Josh Allen to go out there, 21-33, 315, 2 touchdowns, no picks, very good outing for him. So Bills did what they do, and they're going to just try to keep on rolling. So yeah,
I think it was a lot of that was predicated off of big playability. Look at Keon Coleman, longest catch, 57 yards. Amari Cooper, 27. Shakir, 20. Dalton Kincaid, 25. Just that alone, you're looking at 130 yards.
That's right.
So a lot of big plays, were made by the Buffalo's receivers, and they just capitalized on them and finished out the drives, man. Did we realize Josh Allen has yet to throw a pick this season? He's 12 touchdowns, 0 picks.
Yeah, but he's a bum.
Don't worry.
Yeah, he's
don't worry. Wait till it get cold.
Wait till it get cold. He plays in Buffalo.
In the cold.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
That means he plays in Buffalo and he's from Wyoming. I don't think the cold is going to be too much.
He always lead the league like top 3 in picks every season.
Well,
this season is just a total non-Josh Allen type season. You got 12 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Wow. 63% pass percentage, 108 on the passer rating. He's having a good season, man. This is definitely an MVP caliber season. I'll give you that. Bills are 5-2, no interceptions. He's a bum.
Yeah, he's a bum. Right, G?
You serious?
I'm not feeding his bullshit tonight.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying. What? I'm just saying.
So we going there now that we can't talk Brock Purdy.
No. We'll get to Brock Purdy.
Got you, bro. I got you.
Brock Purdy's coming up. We haven't gotten there yet.
You got to get Josh Allen his props, man.
We'll get there. Now you got to give him his props.
Yeah, I picked him last week.
I don't know. That's funny. When I talked about him as a top 5 guy, he was a bum, but that's okay.
That's a little bit too far.
Yeah. Hey, Transformer, guess what? Josh Allen not a mobile quarterback.
You be top 5 and you lead the league in interceptions, bro. Like, come on, man.
All right, where we at?
All right. Wrapping that one up, man.
Bro, that's ridiculous, bro. Top 5 and he lead the league in interceptions the last 3 years. Well, he in the top 3.
Okay, all right. Hold on, Transformer. Before we do this,
top 5. Yo, okay. Like, come on, bro.
You're right. So let me. I need to clarify something real quick. So
and he had, like, in the last 2 years, he had hands, bro. He had people he could throw the ball to.
You're right.
Bouncing off their hands.
I want to establish.
That's why Diggs left.
Okay, cool. So I want to establish something real quick. So what you're saying is because of his propensity for turning the ball over, that means he can't be top 5, right? I just want to make sure I'm understanding that.
You can make those conversations now that he got Amari Cooper, right? Because before he had Amari Cooper, it was like always a thing. Like he was pretty much quiet. Now he got Amari Cooper. There's all this buzz surrounding Josh Allen.
There's always buzz surrounding Josh Allen because he's a really good player. But I need you, G, to answer me this because you just said, how can he be top 5? He's always in the top 3 in interceptions. And I get that. So what you're saying is, I want to make sure I'm understanding where you're coming from. What you're saying is, if you're one of the league leaders in interceptions, then you can't be top 5, right? Is that what I'm getting?
In my book, yeah.
Okay, got you. Watch this, Transformer. I'm about to destroy this dude with one statement. Destruction. Get ready. All right, check it out. Brett Favre
live.
is the all-time leader in interceptions in NFL history. He won 3 straight MVPs. Moving right along. Boom. Next.
I'm sorry, what are you saying, bro? what are you saying, dog? You feel like you did something? You mentioned the food stamp
Like,
queen. You feel like you did something?
Hey, Bruce said,
That
bars,
was
mic
too
drop.
Too easy. Walked him
You
right
feel
into
like you
that.
did something, bro. There's a time
Vietnamese
and a place
punji
for
pit.
everything,
Walked
man.
you right in.
Who's in the league then?
I'm just saying.
Who was he throwing the ball to?
What are you talking about?
Exactly. Who was he throwing the ball to?
I don't understand. What is your what? Oh, Sterling Sharp, Donald Driver, those guys.
Ooh, don't speak of the greats like that.
Yeah,
Ooh, that
yeah.
I'm just
Man,
saying.
he had some great hands to throw the ball to, man. Come on, dog.
You just finished telling me that if you in the top 3,
but a lot of those was made because
then
Brett Favre was just slinging that joint, boy.
Right. But I'm just saying, that's why I wanted to clarify what G said. In his book, if you in top 3 in interceptions, you can't be top 5. Brett Favre is a Hall of Famer and a 3-time consecutive MVP, and he's the all-time leader in picks. So what are you saying?
We digging.
You see how I do that?
We digging Brett Favre out
Punji
of the
pit, bro.
grave.
Punji pit. Walk you right in.
We digging Brett Favre out of the grave. We talking about
good.
Josh Allen. I thought you were gonna say something relevant tonight,
hey,
man.
Hey, I'll put a tourniquet on you. It's all good. I know you over there bleeding. I got a tourniquet for you.
Yeah, man, you can have that one, bro. You gotta go that far back to prove your point.
That's one of the only relevant players, though. I would say he's a little bit more relevant to Favre than anybody else that's recent. But
I'm just saying that's why I clarified things before I make any statements.
Johnny you can talk about Johnny then if that's the case.
Yeah, you could.
He's probably the only one in there. He's probably the only one in there with that many goddamn picks too.
You know what? Okay, got you. I'm a history guy. You know that. Joe Namath has more career picks than touchdowns. He's a Hall of Famer and a Super Bowl champion.
Things to change, man.
Just saying.
Things to change, bro.
Just saying.
Are we done?
So you need to acknowledge that things have changed when you make definitive statements. You feel me?
We said top 5, right? We said top 5 in the league right now, and you mentioned Brett Favre. You mentioned Brett Favre, like you said, top 5 right now. How the hell would Josh Allen be top 5 all time right now, bro?
No, I'm not saying all time. That's not my argument. That's not the argument.
You said top 5 in the league.
You said you can't be top 5 in the league. You said you can't be top 5 in the league, and you throwing all those picks, right? And what I'm saying is, even when Brett Favre was in the league, he was clearly a top 5 guy, and he was throwing tons of picks. See how I do that? Punji pit, bro. I got you. Punji pit.
All right, now that we're done with that, Josh Allen for MVP, I guess. I think that's the ending of this conversation, maybe. All right, moving on over to the next game. We have the Bengals that traveled to Cleveland, an interdivision game. Cincinnati wins another game to kind of put them back into that playoff stratosphere to where Joe Burrow definitely needs them to be. They beat the Browns 21-14 in a game where, unfortunately, Deshaun Watson ended his season in a season-ending career. Achilles injury is what I'm trying to say. Achilles injury. Unfortunately, he will be out for the season as they just got back Nick Chubb, who ended last season with a season-ending injury. It's kind of bizarre. You get one superstar back just to lose your quarterback in the very same game. But I'm going to let G go ahead and go with this one. In a divisional game, I know you're big on those, but the Bengals got it done. What you got on this, brother?
It was supposed to be Bruce go, but I'll go anyway.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
I apologize. You good, man?
I apologize.
No. What's the guy name with the blonde hair?
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow. Yeah, Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow got his head blonde. He put the blonde highlights in his head, man. He turned up. He turned up, man.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know, man. Anytime you got one of those AFC North Conference games, it was close. 21-14, I think was the final score.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb's coming back. That was a big plus for the Browns, but then they lost their starting quarterback. I'm curious to see what Jameson Winston going to do with that offense. They've been pretty much in turmoil, especially after losing Amari Cooper to the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
And Jamal Chase and they got it done. They pretty much got it done. And wasn't really much to talk about, man. AFC North. Deshaun Watson is home now, getting a massage. He's probably
Oh Jesus.
he probably can enjoy the rest of his his money without anybody booing him. They said they was cheering when he got hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah.
That is
Jameis
terrible.
Winston had a whole. It was actually a pretty good speech. Afterwards, when he had this interview, talking about that, it was disrespectful. I mean,
Yeah,
granted,
yeah.
he did what he, whatever happened, off the field happened. And Cleveland Browns as a whole, in my opinion, have just been awful. And just to
Mhm,
cheer when that man, he's hurt.
mhm.
Watching the man get hurt and cheering for him, especially at home in the building, like that. It was just disrespectful. And I like what James Winston said. If you guys in the chat are watching at home, be sure to check out that interview that James Winston gave. It was pretty good. But Bruce, man, what do you got?
I can't figure out how year after year in the toughest league in American sports, Joe Burrow and the Bengals seem to start off slow, but somehow always find a way to get back into a groove. Like, that's really weird. And in the NFL, you shouldn't be able to rely on that, but somehow they're
He
still
gets
able
it
to
done.
end up having success. I don't know if they're going to be able to get into the playoffs from where they are, but what are they now, 3-4? So
Yep.
I'm sure their coaching staff and they're telling each other, hey, one more game, we're back at 500, we're right back in this thing. And we saw Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, man, that's a tough 1-2, man. And Joe Burrow, he's got the weapons and he's really good. This guy so far this season is 5th in passing yards in the league, tied for 2nd in touchdowns, tied for 34th in interceptions with only 2, and tied for 3rd in total QBR at 72.1. He is playing phenomenal football. And even though he didn't put up the crazy stat line today, I think he only had like 181 passing yards with 2 touchdowns and no turnovers. And so Joe Burrow is a guy you can count on. On the flip side of that coin, I feel bad for Cleveland. Deshaun Watson is the worst contract in the history of the NFL, bar none. That is a terrible contract. Either he's hurt or he's just playing badly. The guy, he will never, ever be anything close, not even a reasonable facsimile of what he was in Houston. It is over. And because Cleveland was so desperate to have that type of talent at the quarterback position, the most important position in sports, they are now stuck with all that money on the books for Deshaun Watson. And I know they're looking at Tampa Bay like, damn, we let Baker go. We should have worked through that. So that's a tough spot to be in, but Cleveland is trash. They're now 1-6. And if they're smart, they will draft a quarterback coming up here. They're going to have to do it. And not just draft a quarterback, but also try to get their hands on some weapons on the outside and try to rebuild that O-line, because it's not the same as it has been. So the whole team is decimated by injury, and now it looks as if, it hasn't been verified, but it looks as if, and I saw a few different doctors on Twitter and stuff, not Twitter doctors, but actual doctors who were on Twitter who were saying that appears to be a torn Achilles or a ruptured Achilles.
Oh, you can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can see, like, when you look at the video, it was bad. Yeah, his whole back of his calf vibrated. It was
yeah. So he looks to be out, if that's the case, obviously for an extended period of time, the remainder of the season. And so it's just a tough spot to be in, man. In a way, I feel bad for the Browns, just as a football fan. As an AFC North fan, I feel bad because we want that to continue to carry on the mantle of being the best, the toughest, the strongest division in the NFL. And this year, it's not that. But the Bengals are getting back to a place where we kind of expected them to be. And the Browns are absolutely terrible. Deshaun Watson appears to be out for the remainder of the year. So, like Steve said, let's see if Jameis can get out there and eat some W's, man. That's all we can do. But yeah, tough situation.
No, you're absolutely right. Currently, the Cincinnati Bengals are sitting at 9th.
What's up, man?
Time out. Motherfucking Brett Favre. 28 fourth quarter comeback wins. It wasn't the interceptions. It wasn't. He's not a Josh Allen. Josh Allen can't be compared to Brett Favre, bro. Like, how did you do that?
We jumped all the way
You're
down.
missing the
28
point.
fourth quarter comeback.
How did I do that? I'm going to tell you again how I did that.
It's not the same, yo.
It's
not the same.
No, you said out of your own mouth, and anybody watching this, just go back and rewind it. And I made sure I verified it with you. I didn't assume. I verified it with you. You told me, in your opinion, You can't be throwing all those picks and be top 5. Transformer, did he say that? Am I making that up?
You did, bro.
Did I not verify what he meant before I move forward
Man,
with my train of thought?
That was the slimiest move I ever seen, yo. That's the slimiest move I ever seen, yo. Like you, oh, come on, bro. Now you telling me that Josh Allen and Brett Favre is on the same level? That's what you're trying to say?
That's not. I didn't say anything of the sort.
Oh,
That's not what I said.
Why you bring them up? They not. That's 2 different levels, bro.
What do you mean? Why did I bring them up? Are you not understanding?
That's 2 different levels, bro.
You know what?
Levels, bro.
You know how in the punji pits they would put poison on the joints, man. You must be poisoned right now. It's hurting your brain. You can't think properly.
It ain't hurting my brain.
First
of all, you dug up the dead, right? You dug up the dead because we're talking about here now in this era of football. And then
you didn't say that.
He said he went to the archives with that one, huh, G?
I'm very
went to the archives with that one.
I had to verify with you first, but it's all good.
You got me there, bro. You got me. Yeah, you can get me every time with that one.
Hey, when he hit you with the timeout, I was like, oh shit, he go
That's a low blow, bro. That's a low blow.
That's not a low blow. That's not a low blow. I made sure I verified with you.
He in top 5 right now.
I made sure that I understood first what you were saying before I even took
Josh Allen in your top 5 right now.
What I'm saying? Yes.
Okay.
Probably at the bottom of the top 5.
Current players.
My bad.
Top 5.
Yeah, current players. Yes. Top 5 current
because
players.
As of right now, it seems like we need clarity in what we're saying and what we're talking about. So
right.
Top 5 right now. Okay.
Current
right now playing. Right.
Currently.
He digging them. He dragging them out the Hall of Fame.
Here you go.
All right. So, like I was saying, Bruce made a point earlier. The Cincinnati Bengals did start off very, very slow. Currently sitting at 3-4. They're currently 9th in the conference right now, with a game being behind the Indianapolis Colts, who are currently sitting at 7th spot. So, Cincinnati Bengals once again, making that push. They've done it before. 0-2 starts, 0-3 starts, doesn't matter. Joe Burrow seems to always keep that team floating just long enough for the defense to get right and those guys to make plays to make a nice little run. They're 0-3 at home though. That's pretty weird. I think they're the only team in the league that has yet to win a game at home that is not a bottom dweller like the Titans or the Browns or the Patriots. But yeah, they came in, got themselves a dub, man. They got themselves a dub. So best of wishes to Cleveland Browns. And Deshaun Watson. I'm curious to see if Jameis Winston is going to get the. I believe he's going to get the start. Their original backup of the game, Dorian Thompson. I believe he broke his finger or fractured his finger, so he ended up leaving the game after that. And then Jameis Winston finally got some burn. So we'll see what they look like now. Moving on to the very next game, we have the Colts that I was just talking about. Indianapolis Colts beat the Miami Dolphins 16-10 to move up to that 4-3 totem pole. G, I started off with you last time. Bruce, you got anything about this game?
Not really, man. This was not a pretty game, and I don't like. Obviously, the defense is played to some level, but I think it was more offensive ineptitude than defensive excellence.
Yeah.
Just two teams that, and I'm gonna say this again, Transformer, and I know you told me Anthony Richardson was gonna start. He doesn't need to be starting. He just doesn't. No. If they want the Colts to be better, Joe Flacco needs to be starting, and Anthony Richardson needs to be learning. Like, every quarterback doesn't need to be starting right away. We know he's got all the physical tools, but he needs to take some time and learn. Like, that's all there is to it. And so, yeah, they got away with this win, but that's because the Dolphins are freaking terrible. So,
literally.
Yeah. I think it's just, I didn't see anything special about this game. It was just not a good situation, but, yeah, I don't have anything to say about it. Both teams ran the football well. Let's say that.
Yeah. Do you got anything to add?
God awful game. Wasn't the worst I saw this week, but definitely one of them. Yeah, I'm not a big Colts fan like Bruce is.
I'm not a Colts fan, man. This guy. So I am a big Jonathan Taylor fan and a Quentin Nelson fan. Go Irish. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, man, that was one. Yeah, if you sat there and watched that game through and through,
you're a fan.
Salute, right?
You're a fan at that point.
There's no other way. No other way.
That's
right. No, it was awful, man. Bruce,
yes,
I'm gonna say it again. People only care. These teams are only caring about the next up and coming quarterback. Joe
Mm-hmm.
Flacco should be the guy. He should be the starter. And I
Mm-hmm.
said it over and over again, but they're going to see what they have in Anthony Richardson. And like I said before, and I'll say it again, I didn't see it at Florida. I didn't see it before the injury last year. I'm not seeing it now. You definitely need to put somebody in front of this kid for him to learn at least set him down for the rest of the year behind Joe Flacco and allow him the opportunity to study, right? He was a better runner of the football than he was a passer of the football. Like his job is to be the passer of the football. You shouldn't be the one leading your team in rushing with 14 carries and 56 yards.
Mm-hmm.
That looks good on paper, but when I look back at your passing, you completed only 10 passes the entire game. That's not good. That's
Not good
not
at
good.
all.
Lucky enough, Tyler Huntley went out for the game due to injury, and then Tim Boyle came in and tried to make do what he did. But you're right. I mean, it was just a defensive game in battle of the bad. But I believe Tua does come back next week for the Miami Dolphins. So it's curious to see if they allow him to come back and play. I've been hearing a lot of rumors saying that he's going to come back and start next week. Well, looking to start next week. So that's going to be good on that. But that's it. I truly got nothing to add on this game either.
Yeah, just a bad game.
Just a bad game. All right, we're going to move on over to the best division in the NFL. The Detroit Lions battled the Minnesota Vikings, who were undefeated at the time, but Detroit Lions
Really good
said,
game.
Here, hold my beer, and kick a game-winning field goal to win the game 31-29, and they both are now tied at 5-1. Bruce, I'll let you start off last time. G, you got anything on this game about the best division in the NFL? Not the AFC North? The gauntlet, the two gauntlet in the NFL?
I got the NFC, the best team in the NFC. I'll say that. Detroit is the best team in the NFC, and
In the best conference, in the best division?
by far. I will say
Yeah.
that game was close, right? It ended in a
I
field
think
goal,
it
kind
is.
of like what you guys did. So those games are kind of hard to kind of say who was going to win, but I went with Detroit. Detroit's my favorite to come out the NFC this year.
Like it, Bruce. Yeah, Bruce. Yeah.
Really good game, man. Really good game. Sam Darnold, the numbers look good. Big interception. Didn't need that. Jared Goff, man. Jared Goff is on a heater, bro.
Monster.
He is
Monster.
on a heater. And so Bruce in the chat said we got to give Goff his flowers. So that was something I definitely was getting to. He's having a heck of a freaking year, man. So shout out Bruce, because Jared Goff definitely deserves his flowers. He's not at the top of the league in passing yards, but they're also running the football very well. He's not really at the top of the league in anything, but because I think his first few games were a little bit, so-so, but he's got command of this offense. They've got a great offensive line. They can run the football. They've got weapons on the outside. He doesn't turn it over a whole lot, man. Jared Goff he's good. And I think a lot of people got down on him when the Rams made that trade because what was it? 13-3 in the Super Bowl. They got beat by the Patriots, but Jared Goff at the time was in his second or third year, maybe, going up against arguably the greatest defensive mastermind in the history of the sport. I mean, most young quarterbacks are going to look bad going up against that. And so now they bring in Matt Stafford, and of course, revisionist history, Matt Stafford ends up winning a championship. So it's like, oh, Goff was terrible. Okay. But now we see what Goff has been doing since he's been in Detroit. This is a really good quarterback. That is a really good football team. That division is going to come down to the wire. Green Bay is right behind both of those guys. I think that Minnesota is going to continue to come back to the pack a little bit, especially, again, I keep saying it, I don't believe in Sam Darnold. I don't. I think he's going to continue to make bad turnovers at the wrong time. I just don't see him as being a guy that can take you where you want to go. But this was, in terms of this game, it was a really good football game, man. And entertaining to watch and just to see it. And, you got to like it. And again, I keep bringing it up because it's so important to me, the balance, right? 25 passes, 27 rushes. Like, I love the balance that you're seeing from so many of these football teams, right?
On both sides of the football.
Yeah. 27 attempts for Minnesota, 27 passing attempts, 21 rushing attempts. So not quite the same level as balance as Detroit, but still very good overall. Both teams over 100 yards on the ground. just a really good football game. Now, I know being a defense guy, Brian Flores is probably like, okay, we got a lot we can clean up in the film, but just an entertaining game on the whole. Obviously, you can control what you can control, try to work on the turnovers. They were even in the turnover battle, so that's why this game came out so even, very evenly matched, entertaining to watch. Obviously, these guys are going to play again in that division, and again, like I mentioned, your Green Bay Packers are right behind them. Pause. So it's going to be good. This really is the best division in football right now. So we're going to continue to watch what they're doing. The Bears have been playing better as of late. Very exciting. And G's right. The Lions are the best team in the NFC right now, and they look like they're on the, I'm not going to say on the fast track, but they look very capable of coming out of the conference.
No, you're right. Before I let you go, I wanted to add a little bit on Jared Goff. Jared Goff, since his last loss against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 18 to 23 attempts, 18 passes completed, 78% completion passing, 113 passer rating. Seattle, 18 for 18, 292, 100% completion percentage, 155 passer rating. Dallas, 18 for 25, 315 yards, 72% completion percentage, 153.8, which is a perfect passer rating. Just this past game, 22 for 25, 280 yards, 88% completion percentage, 140% passer rating. That's crazy. That's a crazy stretch right there.
Yeah, he's gonna hit
but
it.
G, go ahead, brother.
What's that? What we talking about here?
Lions and the Vikings.
Oh, I gave my 2 cents already. It was really
Oh, you
close
did?
game.
That's right.
I started.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay. My apologies. I need to be paying more attention to what's going on here.
Let me see if I got anything else. Nope, I ain't got nothing else. It was a really good game.
Hey, real quick, Transformer, one more thing. This heater that Jared Goff is on right now looks very similar to what was happening in that second half of the season with Jordan Love last year. Looks very similar.
I like, yeah. Nice stretch. He's not turning over the ball at all. I think he only has 4 interceptions on the season. And those, 4 came in the first 3 games. I mean, he's, 3 straight games, no picks. Getting sacked a lot more than what I like. But that offense is so magnificent. I'm honestly worried about them in that division. And we played Minnesota already. We lost in a close game, but Detroit really has weapons all over the field. If you look at their running back core, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. You look at their receivers, Amari St. Brown, Sam Laporta, and Jameson Williams out of Alabama. And then you got Gibbs that can line up in the slot. I mean, these guys can really scheme up things over there. And like I said before, they believe in their coach, man. When you have the belief in your coach, and like your coach just gets you riled up, just off, speech and thought process, mind flow, dictating everything, like you're gonna go to bat for him. So this was a great game. I was trying to watch it, but I was too busy watching the very next game that we're gonna talk about. But yeah. But you guys got anything else about this game before I go?
Nah, man.
All right. So we're gonna get to woo. If I had hair, guys, I would have lost a lot of it. All right, this was a very, very stressful game to be watching. Green Bay Packers stay at home. The Houston Texans come in our house and thought that they was going to steal one, but they didn't. The Packers win 24-22 off a last-second field goal by our newly signed kicker, Brandon McManus. I took it away. I'll go ahead and start off since this is my team, and I'm pretty sure you guys would like me to go ahead and put it in a nutshell. The defense shut C.J. Stroud down. That defense shut C.J. Stroud down, right? 20 for 21, 86 yards, sacked 4 times, no touchdowns, no interceptions, and just really that pass rush that we have really, really, really bothered C.J. Stroud so much. He just could not connect with any of his receivers. He can only get to his first read. If you look at most of the game, once C.J. Stroud got to his first read, it was blocked off. By the time he's looking to his second read, Rashawn Gary was right in his face. So he's scrambling out of the pocket, and our defensive secondary is actually surprisingly top 5 in the league. really just peeled their ears back and really stayed home and really played a good man-to-man defense. But it was a great game. Special teams wise, we kind of put them back in the game with the fumble, and then Jordan Love's turnovers produced 16 points for the Houston Texans to make this look a little bit closer. But if you're looking at it from an offense defensive standpoint, our defense just was too much for CJ Stroud and that Houston Texas team. Jordan Love, not too thrilled about his performance with the 2 interceptions, but he did have 3 touchdowns, 220 yards. Josh Jacobs did well on the ground, 12 carries, 76 yards. I would like to see us run the football a whole lot more. 33 attempts to 20. I think that ratio definitely needs to flip a little bit more. Like I said, when we had, Malik Willis out there, granted, he's newer to the team, but we ran the football like crazy. So I think that number definitely needs to be, increased a little bit, especially when we're playing with a little bit more of a lead. But no, man, all in all, a steal for us. We move up to 5-2. Good job that Detroit beat Minnesota, because now we're just literally a game behind both teams. But G, I believe I'll let you start off last time first. Bruce, you got anything about this game?
This game, a lot of credit, and you mentioned this was the first thing that stuck out to me, was how much trouble CJ Stroud had. This was probably his worst game as a professional, but it's also a testament to him that this elite secondary that had been taking the ball away at a pretty much historic rate, he didn't throw a pick today. So even though he didn't have a great game, you could tell it was drilled all week. Like, don't turn the ball over. Don't turn the ball. Don't give him extra possessions. So, in a way, I was kind of set. Not that I was rooting for the Packers. I picked the Packers, but I wasn't necessarily rooting for them. But I was kind of sad because I always say I'm a proponent of history to see that streak with the interceptions come to an end.
You didn't pick my Packers.
I think I did.
No, you didn't. I'm looking at you. Picked Houston, brother.
I did pick Houston. Okay. My bad.
Stand corrected. That's
why
I
stand corrected. Regardless, I was sad to see the streak come to an end, But good game overall. Houston, even though CJ Stroud wasn't throwing the ball particularly well, they ran the ball well. Joe Mixon is a really good addition to this team.
Absolutely.
25 for $115, 2 touchdowns. Really good. 33 for $142 overall. So that's what kept them in the game. Jordan Love, he's got a bit of that gunslinger mentality as well. He can definitely throw himself some picks, but also he can make big plays and big throws. So Packers pulled it off. So congrats to you. But both of these teams are still right there in the mix at 5-2, 7 games in. So nothing to worry about, nothing to panic about. Just, for the Texans, this is a learning experience, and the Packers can say we played far from perfect, but we get out of here with a win. So you'll not get out of here. We're at home, but we leave this game with a win. So you always want to be able to learn from the winning side. So
no, definitely true. Mm-hmm. G, what you got, brother?
Oh man, I mean, that's two of the best up and coming young quarterbacks going at it. This is pretty much a good game. Came down to 3 points. Somebody got to lose, and so definitely a tough game. And like you guys mentioned, with them like making it really, really tough for CJ to kind of only had to lean on the running game. Thought it was good for Sunday football. It was worthy enough to watch. I'll say that. It was worthy enough to watch. Some of these games, bro, what you're gonna get when you look at a Miami and a freaking I don't even remember who they played this week. We just talking about the Colts. Like that's one that you're gonna change, but this was definitely one with those two young upcoming quarterbacks at the helm. Really good game. Unfortunately, I couldn't watch it.
Yeah, I know you was watching trash, but we really made it one dimensional, man. That's what I liked about him. 33 carries, 21 yards. We literally put the ball in. I mean, they literally could only do anything with Joe Mixon, but we took him out of the air. No receiver had over 30 receiving yards, not one. Right, so we took pretty much every option they had away, which I think is a good testament to our defense, man. Our defense is shocking me this year. They're definitely one of the leaders. Even though we didn't have a takeaway today, we actually gave the ball away 3 times. We're one of the NFL leaders in takeaways in the NFL team. We're making it really tough for all quarterbacks and pressures. And other than today with the run game, we've really been stopping the run game pretty well as well. But it was an ugly win, but a win nonetheless, man. Win nonetheless. And again, best division in the league.
Correct.
Best
That's
division.
correct.
I'm waiting because G ain't said it. Now all this AFC North, man. The AFC North, the trenches, the tough, the big AFC North, the big AFC North. I need to hear it, man. The other North, the NFC, bro. The other North. Love, best division.
What we saying?
Best division in the league.
In the league.
Yeah. How?
This season it is.
This season. Yeah.
I still find it hard because records don't like. You look at the Cincinnati and the Browns game, right? Even though they both, I ain't gonna say Cincinnati so much beat up, but the Browns are pretty much beat up, and it's still a close game. Whereas though we see, these AFC quarterbacks demolish NFC quarterbacks, like it, and I ain't gonna talk about Lamar and what he do to the NFC. But what I will say is competitive football this year. I'll say that it's competitive.
Yeah, because I'm about to say AFC quarterback came over to the NFC and he got killed.
Yeah, that happens. Yeah, it happens.
Oh, okay, all right. Just making sure. Just make sure we on the same page.
It's football, bro.
We gotta be on the same page. All right.
Well, we know when we're watching a good game, we know it's time to turn the channel, right? We know when we're watching a good game, and we know when it's time to turn the channel, bro. So,
man. Speaking of turning the channel, definitely turned the channel on this game. The next game that we're talking about, the Philadelphia Eagles just absolutely crushed the New York Giants, 28-3, in a Saquon Barkley comeback game in which he literally showed his whole ass out there on the field, man. And G, since you just got done wrapping it up, I'm gonna go ahead and let you start off with this one. Did you catch that game?
Nah. What game is that?
Philly Eagles.
No, I didn't
Eagles
see that.
Giants.
The Giants, right? Eagles Giants. Yeah. Nah, I didn't catch it. I saw it was a curb stomp though.
Oh, was it?
Saquon went crazy.
I think he
went crazy. He had like 186 yards,
176.
Yeah,
but you're counting total, 187 total.
Okay, yeah. All right, yeah, that's one way to, especially coming off. They didn't want to sign him. They didn't want to resign him, right? They gave him up for like a Lunchable or something. He wanted like an extra,
he was
free
a free
lunch.
agent. They let him go test the market.
Yeah. They could have gave that man.
Did you catch that? Did you catch how it happened? How the GM called him?
Straight.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was talking about the I thought you were talking about the post game conference.
No.
He was else about the Giants.
Oh no! I'm talking about last season, during the off season, when Saquon was like, I was trying to stay in New York, but then the call,
he wanted to stay.
So the whole GM called him like, hey, we're gonna go ahead and let you test the market. We care about you, and if you want to, you're always welcome back. You can come back. Saquon was like, all right, click. Signed with the Philadelphia Eagles. Like the next.
That's what I'm saying. That's the worst part. They let that happen in division.
Man, ain't nothing like some get back. Ain't nothing like some get back, man.
He got back though, didn't he?
Oh boy, did he get back, man. That's tough. I mean, you outgained the entire Giants team. Daniel Jones only had 99 yards passing, and the Giants only had 76 yards rushing total. You personally had 187 yards passing and rushing. You're the running back. You're the running back, and you completely outgained that entire team. But Bruce, what you got, brother?
Man, that's what I was going to point to is what the demolition job Saquon did to him. And once, not just him, but once overall, they being Philadelphia saw that the Giants couldn't stop the run. They ran that thing 45 times. They pounded the rock. They weren't joking at all. So
not at all.
They said, oh, okay, this is what we can do. 45 times, 269 yards. Looks like some college stuff, right? They totally demolished them. They made it easy. Think about this. Jalen Hurts threw the ball 14 times today because they couldn't stop the run, So they did what they got to do. Run the ball, stop the run, right? The Giants ran 18 times for 76 yards. Just a bad game. I don't know what the hell made me pick the Giants in this game. I have no idea. I can't even remember why I
What you
would have done that.
said? We got to go back and look at the video.
Yeah, right. I got to go back and look at the show because I can't
I think
even think of what rational explanation I could have come up with for that one. What's that, G?
Philly has been in such like they've
Disarray.
been like disarray. Yeah, they really have been like it looked like there's some front office stuff. Teams not really playing, and so
Right.
they look like they got their act together right in time, in the middle of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Week 8, this is upon us, fellas. So yeah, I think we're gonna see
Correct.
a lot more survival football, like teams like really, really trying to make sure that they win. And as we saw this week, there's a lot of teams running the ball, a lot more than we used to seeing.
Yeah, no, Philly definitely took a page. Nick Sirianni took a page out of John Harbaugh's book, and Jim, Chargers.
They both.
Right. I was about to
Yeah,
say which
well,
one.
true.
But yeah,
Well,
both.
but
Absolutely.
yeah,
But yeah,
definitely
you think
took a
about
page
John.
out of
You
John.
think
There you
about
go.
John. Yeah.
Took a page out of John Harbaugh's book. You know, run the ball and do it good, do it well. My quarterback only got to pass the ball 14 times, and we blow you out. I love those games.
Run the damn air out the ball.
Run the air out the ball.
Yeah, for real.
No, it was
we will do that.
It's one of them conference games, man. But you got to win by any means.
Yeah. Them division games are tough, man.
Like how you made yourself one dimensional, and you were very, very great at it. You know, that was a very good game there. All right, moving on. We have the Los Angeles Rams beat the Las Vegas Chargers 20-15 to move up to 2-4. G, what you got on that, brother?
Oof.
It was one of those ugly games. So
yeah, I'm sorry, man.
Ugly.
I haven't got too much.
All right. Well, before Bruce goes, go Irish, Kyron the Siren, 21 carries, 76 yards, 2 touchdowns. Go Irish. All right, proceed, Bruce.
Damn, why you take that from me, man?
I had to do it.
Why you take that from me, man? No,
I saw you was waiting there. You was like, man, Kyron the Siren, go Irish.
Go Irish.
I was waiting.
Yeah, no, not the sexiest numbers, but I like the fact that and both of these teams realistically committed to running the football today. But I guess the Raiders didn't have much of a choice as Gardner freaking Minshew threw 3 picks today. So that's not going to help, right? This game was closer. This game was close, right? But you turn it over 3 times. What we keep talking about. Matter of fact, they turned it over 4 times. Minshew with 3 picks and a lost fumble. So when you consistently turn the football over, we talk about it all the time, man. You can't win football games in the NFL. You can't win football games, period, when you lose the turnover battle. It almost never happens. So
I mean, it happened.
The Rams,
we got
right.
You can be in the top 5, though.
What's that? What'd you say, G?
You can still be in the top 5.
Well, not according to
you. He has no turnovers. He got none. He at least gotta have one,
bro. I'm just saying.
You can be in the top 5.
I'm just saying. But yeah, just a win that the Rams desperately needed. I think everybody knows the Raiders have no chance of doing anything this year. I don't think they have good coaching. I don't think they have good quarterback play. They now don't have any weapons. I guess Brock Bowers maybe is that guy. And the defense is so-so, not terrible, but just so-so. I don't know if I think they said that they have no interest in moving Max Crosby, but I think no interest only means until the right deal comes along, right? So if the right offer would come along, maybe that happens. But just the Raiders are not a good football team. I have no idea what they're going to do going forward, but just not a good football team. But even with that, they could have won this game if they didn't turn it over 4 times, man. I don't know. Minshew is not good. We'll leave it at that. But yeah, just bad game overall. Best thing about it, Kyron the Siren. You know the rest. Let's go.
That was your guy when he was at with the coach, though.
Was that who?
Gardner.
No. That wasn't my guy. What I said was, if you look at his career numbers and Trevor Lawrence's career numbers, Trevor Lawrence getting a quarter bill, they're oddly similar. That's what I said.
That man, hell.
Here we go. What up, B?
That was a guy.
Good, Brandon. Here we go.
Guy with the Colts.
Oh boy.
Hey man, let me get there, bro. I'm on them next, B. I'm on them next, B. Right?
Yeah, this dude. Here we go.
All right. So since Brandon Bryce brought it up, we'll get into the ass stomping that the Carolina Panthers are used to getting. The Commanders beat them 40-7 In which this was a game of 4 quarterbacks in total had a chance and opportunity to play the football game. Unfortunately, Jaden Daniels went down with an injury. He will undergo further testing Monday on an injury that forced him out on the win. I believe it was to be his ribs that possibly
rib
injured,
injury.
possible injury. But nonetheless, Marcus Mariota came in and showed his rear end against the bottom dwellers of the Carolina Panthers. G, I start off with you last time. Bruce, you got anything to add about this game?
Man, I'll just say this, man, and I told Brandon this earlier. We were in a group chat, and I picked the Commanders to be third in the NFC East before the season started when we did our picks in the preseason. And
I think we both
this is a really good football team, man. This is a really good football team. I've never liked them. I've never liked them from the time I was a kid. They were Redskins, all that, and I've never been a fan. But this is a really good football team. They're playing good football, and that kind of tells you how bad the Panthers are, that they got smacked like this by Marcus Mariota. But the Commanders did what I always talk about, right? So they didn't have Jaden Daniels. Marcus Mariota stepped in, did his thing. But what really impressed me, man, 214 yards on the ground. A bad team, but that is what you are supposed to do.
That's what you're supposed
37 carries, 214 yards. I love to see that. I love to see that because I'm old school. I want to see you run the ball and stop the run. And that is precisely what Washington did. Dan Quinn is doing a really good job there. Cliff Kingsbury's doing a really good job there. I'm impressed with the Commanders so far. I really am. This is a good football team. I can't say it enough.
G?
Yeah, man. I think Bruce hit it on the nose. Definitely a really good team. I think I had them as third coming out the NFC East as well. I thought I had them a little higher than everybody else.
I thought you had them second. I think you had them second.
Maybe.
I think you had the Cowboys third or something like that.
Yeah.
Something
I think.
like
That. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, man. I think we knew this was gonna happen. Right? Like we knew when they lost last week against the Ravens that they was gonna come out and button their 10 scraps up and make shit happen on defense and offense. And that's exactly what they did against a really bad team.
Yeah.
So,
no, man, you beat up on the bottom dwellers. I mean, if you're playing bottom dwellers, that's how you beat them. Even without, Jaden Daniels, I mean, you still have a competent quarterback. I do like Marcus Mariota, and he fits what they've been doing already with Jaden Daniels. He's very, very good with his legs. He's a very mobile quarterback. And Marcus Mariota can make throws. I mean, we've seen him play his years at Oregon, some years in Tennessee and things like that. So we know he's a decent enough quarterback to be able to slide in right where Jaden Daniels has paws and keep that team going. But Brandon Bryce, please beat Chicago. I need somebody in the NFC North to slow the hell down. Right now, if you go and look at the standings, all 4 NFC North teams are in the playoffs. All 4. The whole division is in the playoffs. So somebody got to go. All right. Right now, it's Chicago. They're sitting at 7th. We're sitting at 6th. So go ahead and knock Chicago down a peg or 2 and make them 4-3. Pretty please. Thank you. Go, Pack, go. All right.
Quick.
Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. I just wanted to interrupt real quick now. I'll let you get back to it. I just got a text from somebody watching who says the Commanders are 30th in defense, and that somebody needs to, you know who you are. You need to do your research. The Commanders are 22nd in defense. So just wanted to throw that up there. Go ahead, bro.
Oh, man. Boy, it sucks to be wrong and then be wrong live. Yeah, it's crazy. All right.
Right. Wrong in front of the entire world. You came in wrong and
it's recorded. It's recorded now. Like, man,
right.
You in there.
Perpetuity.
All right. Final game of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Champs being the champs, doing champion-like things. Steve Spagnuolo and this goddamn defense, man. I don't know what else you can say extra about this man. But the Kansas City Chiefs, undefeated, travel to San Fran, beat them 28-18. Last second touchdown by the San Francisco 49ers to make it a little bit closer. But it wasn't relatively as close as the score may portray. They got it done. It was ugly for both quarterbacks, to be honest with you. More ugly for Brock Purdy, and I'm gonna let G go ahead and take over on that one. But Kansas City found a way to get it done. G, what you got on that? Let's talk about Brock Purdy first.
Man, it was an ugly game. It was definitely an ugly game. More picks than touchdowns, right? More passing touchdowns anyway, right? Like And I think it was the difference between a game manager and a playmaker, right? Mahomes, who had a similar game to Purdy, was able to get in there and make plays. But he made plays to move the chains when they needed, and
He
that was
did.
the difference between them winning.
Amazing, a non-mobile quarterback who wasn't throwing well can do that. But go on. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
I mean, he really didn't throw well. He just made plays. What are
No,
we
you're
saying?
absolutely right. So if he didn't throw well, but he's not mobile, how did he do that?
Oh no! If we want to address the mobility of Patrick Mahomes, how
I'm just
about
saying.
that 33-yard run he put on
Yup.
that sideline,
Yup.
and that truck stick he put on the San
Yup.
Fran secondary to get in the end zone? That's some mobility for your ass right there. Okay, but
I
G, I'm
saw
gonna go
him
ahead and let you roll with
scramble a
that.
lot and make plays. But if we don't lower the bar and say a 33-yard career run is, you know what I'm saying? That make
So
that's the
But you said
longest
he's
run.
not mobile.
hold on,
That's the
Transformer. Hold
longest
on.
run.
Let me understand you and make sure we're clear on this,
So is it
G.
my goal? Hold on, is it my goal or somebody
It
else's
is
goal?
your
I'm
goal. I
trying to
just
figure
want
it
to
out
make sure.
because I don't want to mess it up when you start talking because I
You're
can.
right. You're right, my brother. Go
So I'm
ahead,
gonna
man.
finish right. I'm gonna finish right.
You're
They
right,
both
battle.
play
You're
like
right. You're
shit.
right.
They both play like shit. They both play like they ain't belong in nobody's top five today,
That's a
especially
fact.
considering
That's a fact.
this was a big game for both of them. You got
Yeah. It's a fact.
two teams, just like a repeat of the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, this is Super Bowl rematch.
Yeah,
Rematch. Yep.
yeah. And so neither one of them came to really play. It's just that coaching dynamic, that part of it. I thought Andy Reid defense, they made better. They made more good plays than they did bad plays, and that was the difference.
No, got it,
That's all I
Bruce.
got, bro.
All right. Um.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm
So
actually surprised. I thought he was gonna go a little bit hard on Brock Purdy, but go
Transformer.
ahead.
Oh,
Yeah.
me, nah. I mean, I already he's where I said he would be, bro. Like I don't have to. What
No. I
what
think
I'm supposed to
everybody.
say, bro? Like,
I think
okay.
everybody who knows me knows that I'm a Purdy believer, right? He's not my favorite guy. I'm not saying he's a Hall of Famer. I'm not saying he's the best quarterback in the league, but I do believe he is much better than he gets credit for in most cases. That said, he stunk it up today. He made a couple of plays where he was able to get out of the pocket and do some stuff, but you can't throw 3 interceptions against the champions. You can't really throw 3 interceptions against anybody in the NFL and think you're going to win that game. Furthermore, the world champions, like, you have to do better than that, plain and simple. And Mahomes, he hasn't played like Mahomes, right? He doesn't have his typical weapons. You can see Kelsey has slowed down. He doesn't have a whole lot on the outside, but Mahomes always finds a way to make the play, right? That's probably the difference between him and most of the other guys. He always finds a way, always, to make the play, the big play, right? And Kansas City did a very good job rushing the football too. 184 yards on the ground. That'll get it done.
39
That'll get it done.
carries. That's a
Right.
lot of carries.
I got to
Exactly. So
commend you. I got to commend you, Bruce. I do.
for what?
You didn't talk about none of the fact that because he lost everybody, he lost a lot of key players, right? Like they missing like their top 3 receivers. You didn't mention none of the excuses that most people would use, or not excuses, but they
Reasons.
facts, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
reasons, they facts. So you lost 3 of your quarterbacks. 3 of your wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you still a top 5 quarterback in a lot of people's eyes. You make it work with what you have, and he
You
failed to
should
do that. Yeah, he
fail to
failed
do
to do
that.
that.
You're right.
So he fit the narrative that everybody else was painting. That he's a good quarterback.
Right.
I
Right.
mean,
No, I hear you.
but there's a difference in that, right? This is one game. I'm not going to stress that it's just it's
Right.
literally one
Right.
game that has happened like that. But you also got to take a preparation, right? You lose your first 3. That means you've been practicing first team reps with those 3 receivers, right? You don't have no real camaraderie with 4, 5, and 6 when you got George Kittle in that game. So that also does play a part, and you just don't have that connection with them just yet. But that's also a credit to Steve Spagnuolo in that defense. Like them folks was all over Brock Purdy, making the looks look crazy for him.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, Brock Purdy was still putting the ball in harm's way. I'm not taking it back that he had 3 interceptions in that game,
Right.
but Steve Spagnuolo was down the pressure right on time, all up in Brock Purdy's face. I believe the interception in the red and in the end zone literally was off of quarterback pressure, right? Falling sideways and boom, he threw it right into the defense's hands. Yeah, losing Brandon Ayuk is going to be major. I think it was it meniscus? Did they announce it? I don't think they announced it yet.
I don't think
it's
they did.
or MCL from what it looked like. Because I think my knee did that before, and I ended up with a meniscus injury. But yeah, man.
I had a torn meniscus also.
Yeah. But no, man, it was
leg too.
it was awful. It was awful quarterback showing. When you have a total of 0 touchdowns and 5 interceptions out of 2 quarterbacks that were just in your Super Bowl last year, that's pretty freaking ass, man. That's pretty ass.
Yeah,
But what's so funny is that both of them did end up getting touchdowns on the ground. Pat got 1, Brock Purdy got 2. So they found other ways to get the ball up in the end zone, man. But Kansas City Chiefs, man, yet undefeated still. They're literally finding ways to get it done. A receiver, they lost another receiver, and Juju Smith-Schuster, he went down. And they're literally just finding ways, getting Noah Gray involved. We got Perrine involved, the other tight end Watson involved, Fortson involved, another tight end. Sky Moore had a sighting today. Granted, they didn't make a catch, but they had to get on the field because some folks getting real thin. So I really do think they possibly may go make a trade, maybe a DeAndre Hopkins or something like that, just to go get another weapon because it's getting real scarce out there. And they definitely want to, build up before the final stretch of the season. But great game, still 6-0, the only undefeated team left, and that will end it for this week. I believe we have the game for tomorrow. The Ravens do play the Bucks Monday night football, 8:15, and then the Chargers play the Cardinals at 9 a.m. So since we're here, I believe Bruce is still in the chat. He actually wanted us to have a little preview about it, and we got 2 Raven fans here on the panel. Do we have anything before the game goes down tomorrow evening?
That's off the cuff, ain't it?
Yeah. Well, I'll go first real quick, G, while you think about it. So one of the things that G said, he predicted that the Ravens are going to win by double digits tomorrow. And I think that's really tough because what made it really difficult for me to pick this game, and I did end up picking the Ravens close because of their ability to how difficult they are to defend because of the way they can run the football. And then obviously Lamar Jackson is throwing the football with extreme efficiency, and they can do so many things in the RPO game and off the play action, right? If I'm the Bucks defense, and we know that what's my man Todd Bowles is a really good coordinator, I would really try to force the action in the passing game so that we make Lamar throw it outside of the numbers, because the majority of his passing, and he passes really well in the seam and between the numbers. You don't see him throw it a lot outside the numbers. I don't know if that's indicative of a deficiency or if that is scheme, right? But he's always thrown it really well in the seam and between the numbers. So I would try to force it outside of the numbers. But the other part is, on the defensive side, the Ravens obviously number 1 in the league against the run. They completely shut the run game down, but they're not as great against the pass, and that's where I think that's where it kind of comes in with Baltimore. And we know that the Bucks are a team that can throw it all over the place. Nobody's going to call Baker the second coming of Tom Brady or Peyton Manning, but he can throw it all over the place, and he's got some good weapons. That's a really good passing offense over there. So I am concerned about what's going to happen on the backside of that Baltimore defense, which to me makes the game end up a lot closer than I would like. And so that's why I was surprised when G said he sees Baltimore winning by double digits. Now, if it happens, hey, great. But I can't see it with, that weakness in the passing defense. So I'll go ahead and turn that over to G now.
Oh man, this is a tough one off the cuff. Actually had to do some stats. Look up some stats. I looked at Lamar Jackson versus Baker Mayfield versus the Ravens, I should say. And he's 6-3. I mean, he's 3-6 against the Ravens.
Okay.
And so just looking at that defense and how we was able to stop and pretty much slow down one of the toughest quarterbacks in the league last week, Jaden Daniels. I think he had like one of the best passing ratings last week. I might be wrong, but he was pretty hot up until.
Yeah, he still had a good game last week.
Yeah, he still had a good game, but he didn't come out with a W. And so I look at how we can control the ball. and how we control the ball. We actually got Mark Andrews involved last week, which is really big because now we opens up a lot more plays and a lot of different looks. And so as far as the playbook looks, and as far as firepower, right, offensive firepower, we got to see Flowers go crazy if he can continue that on that same stretch where his next man up and play to that same level they played last week. I think we'll see those double digits. That defense is starting to come together and it actually starting to really play a little more physical than we need. And if we set that tone early, you're gonna see that double digits. You're gonna see that double digit win. Baker is really cool, but I think at some point he's going to run out of steam as different games get pushed to him. Dean Pease is back there, so he definitely know how to pin his hands and pin his hands to the side and make him, make those not make those, but play to his weaknesses and not necessarily his strengths. And so I haven't had the opportunity to look at the depth chart yet on the injury report and see who's injured for that Tampa Bay team or the Ravens. I think the Ravens are pretty healthy. They may both be.
I think so too.
Healthy. Yeah, so should be a good Monday night game.
Yeah, I agree.
Like the only one thing I will point out, I think he's back.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I think so too. One thing I will point out, and again, this is not a typical Raven defense, right? Through week 6. So obviously this week's stats aren't included, but through week 6, the Ravens are 23rd in scoring defense. They are obviously number 1 against the run. I mentioned that. They're 31st against the pass. And total defense, they are, where was it? I had it right here. They're 16th, so bottom half of the league. So this is not a typical dominant Ravens defense. They have the ability to be that, yes. And in any given game, they can do that, yes. But they are not the same. And so that's why I'm saying I have some concern, and I don't think it's going to be as dominant as you think it is, G. I did pick them, so I think they're going to come out with the win. I don't see it as being as dominant. That's all.
As a conversation, I'm looking at Nate Wiggins, what he's been able to do this year as a rookie, right? He's playing red. He's been playing fire, but they've been switching him and Humphreys off. And I like to see him on the other side starting where Brandon Stevens played because he's been getting cooked. And also that whole left side, that side where was this Marcus Williams? Was Marcus Williams? Our safety.
Yeah.
Well, he's been getting cooked all year too, and so I don't know if he's still fighting an injury. He's been injured the last 3 years or so. I think we signed him when he was injured. He just hasn't been playing, and so much of that is because of those two guys right there getting barbecued. Even though we always see Marlon Humphreys seem like he's on the tail end of a burn, he hasn't given up any touchdowns, and neither has Wiggins. And so I think if we can do something to move those two guys around, I don't know, man. You'll see a different secondary. That is.
No, true. The only bigger major injuries that I'm seeing are for the Bucks. Trey Palmer, receiver, is going to be out, and Jamel Dean, starting cornerback, he's going to be out. Vita Vea is questionable, and Rashad White, their running back, is also questionable. So that is yet to be determined if they're going to be out. But as far as out, they are going to be down their starting cornerback.
Okay, so you got 2 relatively healthy rosters here.
Yeah. I didn't see any major injuries for you guys. D-tackle, Rogers Washington, that's about it.
Yeah, everybody ready to eat, man. They not. If they hurt, they ain't saying they hurt.
Hey, man, we trying to win. We trying to keep this win streak going. Yeah. Yeah. What do you got? What's this, 4 straight now?
If we look at what teams are like really starting to get hot, I think Cincy is starting to heat up. I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see the Eagles. They normally get crazy, towards the end of the season.
Dallas about to be in trouble. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, Dallas is.
They come up. I think they play the Eagles coming off of that bye, right? Or was it San Fran?
No, they play San Francisco, and San Francisco's going to be mad next week.
Yeah, they're going to be a little pissed off.
Beat up too. San Fran beat up, man.
That's true.
Down.
Okay.
I mean, I think, but not Ayuk, but
my bad.
What's his name? Debo Samuel. He was just sick. They said that before the game. He was just sick. So he's not.
But here goes the other problem. We know Dallas can't stop the run. Shanahan is going to. What does Shannon say? He gonna put foots in them.
Gonna put foots in them.
Yeah, he gonna put foots in them dudes.
And I think
definitely
they're
is.
looking to have Christian McCaffrey come back next week. They're trying to get him back on par to make his return. But you still got Jordan Mason back there, and they actually got three great running backs over there.
Yes.
They got great running back depth over there. So
Yeah,
Cowboys may be in some trouble.
Look at his stretch real quick. I know we're not talking Cowboys, but look at his Cowboys stretch. Next 5 games. At San Francisco, at Atlanta, host Philadelphia, host Houston, at Washington. They might lose all of those. They might lose all of those. They're in a bad way.
It's a primetime game. Oh, boy.
There you go.
It's a primetime game next week.
Then they play the Giants, so they get a little relief. And then after that, they got Joe Burrow and the damn Bengals. Then they play Carolina, a little bit of relief. Then they got Baker in Tampa Bay. Then they at Philadelphia. Then they got Washington to close it out. The second half of the season is going to be very bad for the Cowboys. Anyway,
that's ugly.
Moving right along.
That's ugly.
Yeah,
that's what the Shanahans do. Produce quarterbacks. I believe I see you, Brandon. Yeah. But other than that, that is it. Week 6 in a wrap up. What did I say? Quarterback?
Yeah, you said cornerbacks.
Oh, my bad. Running back. But yeah,
Bruce,
that's it.
Shadur's not my bad. I don't think Shadur's going to the Cowboys, Bruce, because remember they just gave Dak all that money. I can't see it. My thought on that, and I talked about this on the show. You might have heard it before. I was always saying, don't pay Dak. Let him walk after this season, and then draft Shadur Sanders. That would have been my thought. Trade up to get him. Do what you have to do, but Shadur's not going to go to the Cowboys now that Dak got all that bread. I don't know why they would do that.
Miami tanking, so
maybe so.
And you have a lot of bottom dwellers that's in front of, even though the Cowboys got a bad schedule, but they got a lot of bottom dwellers in front of them. And so they're possibly going top 3, maybe at 1.
Yeah,
so
he may go number 1.
Yeah, so he's going to go early. You got the Panthers down there. You got the Browns who are having a problem.
Giants going to need a quarterback.
You got Giants down there, Saints down there.
Yeah, man.
The Jets are down there. Raiders are down there.
Mm-hmm.
You got a lot of bruhs they got to get in front of, unless Jerry Jones makes a trade up, but he's going to be gone by the time they get there.
Yeah, it doesn't even make sense. I don't see it.
No. But that's all we got, man.
That's all we got. Shadur and Prime will be in Vegas. I don't know, Brandon. Again, I'll just say this for the last time. Shadur needs to be his own man and step out his father's shadow. He can't be with his pops for his entire life. Like that doesn't work. And all respect due to everything Dion has done to facilitate his son getting to this point. But at some point, Shadur has to step out of that shadow. That's me. Who's Baltimore's backup quarterback? Is Josh Johnson?
I believe
it was Josh.
I think it's Josh Johnson.
Yeah.
Let's look at your depth chart real quick. It is.
We don't need a backup. You know what?
It is Josh Johnson.
Yes, it is Josh Johnson. He played last week, right?
Oh, there you go. Yeah. But all right, team. I appreciate everybody who checked into the show tonight. Appreciate y'all as we wrap up another amazing Sunday of NFL action. Make sure on the way out you hit that like and subscribe, and make sure you also hit that share button, man. Share the show with people. We appreciate it. But that's about it. And we'll be back Wednesday night. I'm going to try to get a college football show to you guys on Tuesday. I'm going to try my best. Didn't get one last week. Got crazy, but I'm going to try my best to do that, especially there was a lot of big games in college football this past weekend. So I'm going to try to get that done. But yeah, we're going to call it right here. Everybody have a great night. We appreciate y'all. We out. Peace. Hit the button, Transformer.
Yes, sir. Go Pack, go.
Yeah.